My, what manner of place is this? A path to redemption? Or a road to damnation? Hard to say, for your journey is just beginning. What would suit the occasion? The words to a lullaby, perhaps. The mouse smiled brightly. It outfoxed the cat. Then down came the claw. And that? Love. Was that? They do know how to write them in Cormyr, don't they? Well met, I am Raphael. Very much at your service.
Am I talking to the mouse? Or the cat?
Neither. The fox, rather. Hiding, in a word. A silent observer, about to break the silence. Of course, what I have to say merits some privacy, as well as some more, let's call it, refinement. This quaint little scene is decidedly too middle of nowhere for my tastes. Come. There, middle of somewhere.
Take me back, now.
And deny you the honor of my hospitality? This is the House of Hope, where the tired come to rest and the famished come to feed lavishly. Go on, partake, enjoy your supper. After all, it might just be your last.
Are these theatrics leading somewhere?
Are you not entertained? Well, far be it from me to disappoint. What's better than a devil you don't know? A devil you do. Am I a friend? Potentially. An adversary? Conceivably. But a savior? That's for certain.
What makes you think I need saving?
Come now. Why play hard to get when you're in deep over your tadpoled head? One skull, two tenants, and no solution in sight. I could fix it all, like that.
I serve an oath, not a devil. My honor is not for sale.
Everything is for sale. And you do well to sell while your stock has value. In desperate times, the price of honor plummets. Perhaps you haven't yet realized how desperate these times are. You will. Try to cure yourself. Shop around. Beg, borrow, and steal. Exhaust every possibility until none are left. And when hope has been whittled down to the very marrow of despair, that's when you'll come knocking on my door. Hope. Such a tease.
Now rip out your mocking tongue.
Ah, yes, the tongue. Yet another piece of pleasurable anatomy you'll soon have to do without. All those pretty little symptoms, sundering skin, dissolving guts, they haven't manifested yet, have they? One might say you're a paragon of luck. I'll be there when it runs out.
The pig's dead, my friend. Staring at it won't bring it back. Come on. We'll never fix these brainworms if we stop and gawk at every piece of carrion you find.
I should examine it first.
The boar seems to be fresh, only a few hours dead. Examining the corpse, you see 2 small puncture wounds in its neck.
And is it dead enough for you?
These marks are strange. Do you recognize them?
It's been drained of blood with wounds in its neck. It's been killed by a vampire. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to worry you. They are ferocious creatures. But don't worry. I'll keep watch tonight. We won't have to worry about nocturnal visitors. Now please, let's go.
You're a true soul. You can't die. Please, stay with us.
I don't think he's conscious. Can you hear us, Ed?
You, not a step closer.
A strange symbol glows, marked on their flesh, and something within you stirs in response.
His wounds look deep. I may be able to help.
He's hurt badly. An owlbear got him deep. If there's anything you can do...
I'm watching you.
The injured man locks eyes with you. A familiar squirming churns in your head.
Must hold his stare.
Your minds intertwine. You see his siblings, Andric and Brenna, new recruits. Yours to shepherd.
Protect them. He is a true soul. Mind him. He will. He.
Edwin! Ed! Please!
He's with the Absolute now. You're a true soul. Edwin, our brother, he was chosen. Like you. Do you have orders for us? We were reporting to Edwin.
True soul?
What? Are you testing us?
A true soul, like you, has been chosen by the Absolute. You speak with her voice. Your words are her command. She grants you the power to enforce her will. And when the time comes, the true souls, you will rule.
That fellow was infected like us. Is this the mark of a true soul?
Why are you out here? The wilderness is dangerous.
We know that all too well, sir, but the Absolute sent us here.
We're looking for fugitives. Survivors from that ship that crashed farther west of here.
Perhaps you can help me. I'm looking for the druid Halsin.
I don't know any druids.
Well then, forget the owlbear. You're still alive, so go.
What? And just... leave Ed? I suppose he'd want us to go on. Find a way to honor his sacrifice.
May the Absolute guide us.
Strange power resonates within the corpse. It calls to you. Your limbs move of their own accord. There's something of value, something your mind craves. Why let its host's memories go to waste? The tadpole has absorbed it all. Its experience could nourish you, strengthen you.
No, I can't be influenced by this illithid parasite.
Your muscles loosen. The tadpole breaks free of its deceased host. Your mind is your own again. For now.
You should leave it, or even destroy it if possible.
But why?
This rubbish is an offering to Selûne. At best, it's worthless. At worst, who knows? Could be cursed. Do not trifle with that moon witch, or her trinkets. Only trouble will follow.
We can't just abandon resources that we may need. Be sensible.
Fine. Perhaps you can sell them for a couple of coins. Bloody hells. Literally. Just when I think I've got a grasp on our dilemma, a devil shows up. No matter. We've dealt with every other oddity thrown at us lately. We can handle this one too. Now, as for this Raphael, he knows our secret. He claims he can help. What do you make of him?
He's a devil. We shouldn't trust him. Simple as that.
No doubts at all. He seemed powerful and very knowledgeable about our problem. Not the worst prospect we've stumbled across. As long as you can look past what he is.
I'm not going to just change my mind. We cannot trust Raphael.
Good. That's what I wanted to hear. I know people who work much like our new acquaintance does. You don't need a scourge or a rack to break people. Fear and self-doubt is sufficient. When actual pain comes, the victim's already done the heavy lifting for their torturer. There were no right answers with that devil. He was toying with his food. Us.
Who the hells are these people you know, who do such things?
Cunning people. Private. And very dangerous at times. Perhaps you'll meet them one day. See? Sowing doubt is an old trick. Watch out for it. And for Raphael.
There's something you're not telling me. I'm sure of it.
I don't know what you mean.
When we found the Selûne shrine just now, you reacted unusually.
It's nothing. Really.
We have to be honest with each other. What is it that you're keeping from me?
You're not going to let this go, are you? You might wish you had. I worship Shah, the Mistress of the Night. It is my holy mission to oppose Selûne, her teachings and her followers. It hurts. Now that you have the truth, please don't make a big fuss about it.
I don't care who you worship. We have bigger problems.
True. I didn't think you'd react so pragmatically. Perhaps I should have told you sooner.
In the future, I expect you to be honest. Let's leave it at that for now.
Gladly.
The Devil with the Silver Tongue. An old fairy tale my father read to me. The kind with a hero, a villain, and a moral. A farmer made a deal with the devil, so the story goes. In exchange for the farmer's dearest fruit, the devil granted him a bottomless coin purse. The farmer's dearest fruit, naturally, was no apple nor peach, but his beloved daughter. We can learn a lot from fairy tales. Don't you think?
Spare me the parables. I've no intention of bargaining with the likes of him.
That's because you still have hope. But when he becomes your last hope, remember this. He'll require of you only what you're least ready to part with. And then require more still. You might think you'd give up anything for a cure. But the devil won't take just anything. He'll take everything.
Now there's a bloody devil trailing after us. Well, this gets better and better. Shop around, he said. He seemed sure we won't find anything. And he might be right. We've had no luck so far.
He's not. We still have options.
Maybe. But all that, take your time, I'll wait, nonsense. He's playing with us. He reminds me of, well, someone I used to know. Someone that liked to play with people. Creatures like them don't play games. Unless they know they can win.
We are not his playthings. We'll show him that.
Maybe. But he's not the only one spinning a web for us. This is no ordinary Mind Flayer parasite. Who tampered with it, and why? What do they have planned for us? And why are we important enough that a devil comes knocking on our door? If we find those answers, we might have a chance.
Do you feel as flattered as I do? Fighting to dine with a devil.
Dining with the devil left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yes, they offer you an apple, but they're the worm that lurks within. Still, don't let his bluster fool you. All that talk of desperation, it merely illustrates his own. I think he wants something from us, badly. And in that knowledge lies our opportunity.
I'll remind you that when dealing with the devil, you always draw the short straw.
There's no such thing as an absolute certainty. Let me play the devil's advocate. The man is too eager. Do not dismiss his offer out of hand. If there's one quality all the denizens of the Hells embody, it's ambition. A quality they share with many humans, come to think of it.
And how do you propose we beat a devil at his own game?
By figuring out his true intentions. Fact one, there's something very strange and very powerful about our tadpoles. Fact two, a devil offers to take it away. Devils aren't known to aid mortals out of simple kindness. Whatever Raphael wants, we must be the key to getting it, along with our tadpoles. So, I say for now, we wait. If I'm right, Raphael will seek us out again, and when he does, there's a mighty bargain to be made. Remember his Cormyrean rhyme? Down came the claw. Perhaps we should start growing our nails.
This devil Raphael flaunts his paltry wings as if he wants to impress us. You saw the red dragon slaying his infernal kin above Hell's fires, did you not? Next to a dragon, the devil's a gnat. When I am Kithrak, I will take my Queen Vlaakith his head as a trophy.
Kithrak? What does that mean?
Githyanki Knights. The riders that chase the Nautiloid. They are the commissars and enforcers of my Queen Vlaakith's will. Vlaakith bestows no greater honor. To wield a Kithrak silver sword is my destiny. I will earn my Queen's favor, and I will conquer every layer of hell should she command it.
Why were these knights chasing the Mind Flayer ship?
The Geich are my kind's mortal enemy. It is not unusual for the Kithrak to give chase, to penetrate the Hells. This is unusual. But I'm not one to question the wisdom of my queen. I can see but to the horizon. Vlaakith's sight pierces the many plains.
You feel the quake of its heavy footsteps before you see it. An owlbear, its beaked face looming out of the darkness.
What's this? Something weak, something tender. Won't even have to chew you before I feed you to my son. Soft meat.
You're injured. There's still half a spear lodged in your head.
It's a splinter. I've gutted bigger threats than you with worse.
Just allow me to leave. I'm no threat to you or your cub.
You're small, weak. Killing you would be a waste of time. You can go. but you make one wrong step and I'll rip you to shreds.
Keep moving, stranger. Quietly.
What happened here?
I told you to go.
Calm yourself. I harm only those deserving of it.
There's death in your scent, but not in your words. Still, you should go. My friend is injured. He needs rest.
I don't think he's going to be waking up.
Of course he will. And then we'll return home.
What's your name?
He calls me Scratch. You can do the same.
What happened to your friend, exactly?
We were attacked. With cackling, furry things on two legs. And their smell, it was strange, rotten, evil.
You know the creatures he describes. Gnolls.
Well, come on. You can travel with me if you'd like.
No, I won't leave him.
Very well. If he doesn't wake up, follow my scent. I have a camp.
If it comes to that, I may. Thank you.
Who's there? Please, keep your distance. You're welcome to shelter here, but we've grave injuries to tend to.
Who or what attacked you?
A devil. The most deadly foe we've yet encountered. We are paladins of Tyr, Lord of Justice. He sent us after an infernal being, straight out of the Nine Hells, hiding in the form of a one-horned tiefling.
One horn? Then you mean Karlach, Archdevil's bootlicker.
You know her, which means you know what the Fiend is capable of. She slaughtered countless refugees fleeing the Absolute. Yesterday, she butchered an entire family without mercy. We were lucky to survive our encounter with her.
This could be the work of a devil, but they collect souls through cunning, not carnage.
It isn't like a devil to use their brawn instead of their brains.
Indeed. She's a uniquely vicious case. All the more reason she must be stopped.
Where is this devil?
She ran toward the river when she saw we were merely wounded, not dead. Down the hill from here. She must pay for her crimes. If you capture her, you will have served Tyr where we could not. This is the Sword of Justice, blessed by Tyr. I've wielded it since I swore my oath. It's all I have, but it's yours if you stop her. Bring me her head, and Tyr will consider her crimes repaid.
Very well. I will bring you her head.
May the just God guide you.
If you want to go poking around in the cellar, be my guest. Plug your nose first, though.
Why? What's down there?
Corpse, half-rotted to mush. Must have been down there a 10-day or more.
This is a nice place to hold up in. What is it?
It was a toll house. By the time we arrived, it was more like a slaughterhouse. There's more monsters than coin moving down this road.
Toll houses being gold. Seen any around?
There's a locked door down the hatch. Doesn't look like anyone's managed to get in. If there's any gold left, that's where it'll be.
Very well.
Need any supplies? We've fewer mouths to feed now.
How many did you lose?
2. Both stalwarts of Tyr, sworn to uphold justice.
What happened to you?
The Lord of Justice sent us after a devil haunting this area. We squared off against her. We lost. Talk to Anders if you want the details. I don't have it in me to recount the horror.
Maybe later.
One horn. The stink of Avernus. Advocatus Diaboli.
Well, I'll be God's damned. The Blade of Frontiers. Thought I'd shaken you for good. That'll teach me to underestimate you.
You're the devil we've been hunting. Karlach, right?
Bloody right. An honor to be chased by the Blade of Frontiers, but I...
A great heat roars through you. Her heat, fiery as the hells. Then you're lost in visions of demonic armies as you tear through a landscape of fire and blood. The Blood War. You saw it from above as the Nautiloid passed through Avernus. This woman was on the front line.
What was that?
Evidence. Proof that you're a devil. A gladiator in the archdevil Zariel's army.
I can explain, but it's a whole situation. If you just hear me out...
Another vision. Karlach's blade raised, slicing through devils, Zariel's servants, as her eyes dart around, seeking escape. Her rage and desperation seep into you. She is a victim of the Blood War, not an agent of it.
She's trying to trick us. Don't believe her lies.
You saw the truth. I never wanted to serve Zariel. I was enlisted in her army against my will. Forced to fight, and fight I did. When I saw an opportunity to get away, I took it. Finally home. Or near it, anyway.
You served her. That's enough to damn you.
Stand down, Will. You saw what I saw.
You don't know what you're saying. You're asking me to trust a devil.
Gods, you're stubborn. Karlach's not a devil, and you know it.
Listen to sense now. I don't want this to end badly for either of us. You know monsters, right? Better than anyone. Look into my eyes. Can't you see I'm not what you think?
Shit. You really are no devil, are you? I've been deceived.
Oh, thank the gods. Thought I was gonna have to take your head.
You would have died in the attempt. But there have been enough threats today.
Truce then, eh?
Aye. Truce.
I'm Karlach, but you already knew that. And you are...
A pleasure. I'm Davian Talun.
Well met, soldier. Nice to meet a friendly around here. It's been tough going so far. I may not be a devil, but I can put the Blade's reputation to work. How would you feel about helping me kill some evil bastards? Little background, if your moral compass needs something to point at. You already know I fought in the Blood War. I was good. Really good. It turns out I've got a knack for killing demons. That made me a valuable asset. Zariel, the archdevil herself, made me as her personal attack dog. I played along until I could get the fuck out of there. But devils don't like to lose their assets. Zariel liked it so little. She sent a bunch of goons, so-called Paladins of Tyr, to take me back. Problem is, I'm not going.
So, you want me to kill the people hunting you?
Don't worry, I'll lead the charge. But I could use your help. There's a lot of them and only one of me. After that, we can team up. Take Faerun by the short hairs. Sound good?
I mean, let's do it.
Fuck yes! They cornered me outside the toll house just up the hill. Doubt they've gone far after the scorching I gave them. Hang on though. Looks like you've got enough backup at your side. Not sure there's room for me. I'll catch up with you when it's time to camp for now. But don't get to any of the fun stuff without me. Got it?
You've been witness to a pantomime, I'm sorry to say. And I've played my part all too poorly.
Someone sent you on Karlach's tail. I'd like to know who this source of yours is.
I can say only this. Karlach's not the only one who's had a villain's knife held to their throats.
Gods, what now? Do you have a tax collector on your tail?
You're closer than you think. One night soon, when we make camp, the veil will be lifted, and I'll pay my penance.
Penance? Should I be worried?
You're not in any danger, I promise. I can't say the same about me.
Karlach and Will seem to have put their differences aside. I thought it was going to come to blows for a moment.
I thought we were going to see some real sparks fly between Will and Karlach. It's almost a pity things ended so amicably. Seeing those two duke it out would be fun.
A devil and devil hunter standing shoulder to shoulder against a common enemy. Rather poetic, I think.
Karlach's got the brawn of a warrior and the wiles of a survivor. Best of all, she speaks her mind plainly and fully. Show her due respect.
So, how did you end up fighting in the Blood War?
Trust me, I'll tell you all about it after we take care of the goons on my tail.
In your expert opinion, what's the best way to kill a devil?
Depends on the type. Ice devils hate an inferno, but that's an easy one. Orthons love projectiles. What they don't love is getting their bombs lobbed right back in their faces. Demons, on the other hand, every demon is absolutely singular. You can't ever think you've got them typed out. Sharp instincts, sharp weapons, and a knack for improvisation. That's the only way to survive them. Anyway, what were we talking about?
About those paladins you want us to confront.
Yeah, let's go straight there. Whatever those fucks are getting up to, it's nothing good. Just to say, by the way, they're not really paladins. Lackeys of the Archdevil playing dress-up as paladins of Tyr. No honor among devils.
Come on then, we're headed out.
Aces.
You brought her here. We won't survive another assault. Leave us in peace, and we shall leave you in kind.
Cut the crap, Anders. I know what you are.
Don't let her hurt us. Please. We just want to go home.
Something in his posture, his eyes. Is he telling the truth?
There's something in the squint of his eye. You suspect he's lying.
Enough of this charade. I know who you really are.
Enough! Enough! I'll not play pretend anymore. Karlach, you're going home in pieces if needs must. And you'll soon learn what it means to ally yourself with the likes of this garbage.
Avernus was never my home. It was my prison. I'm free now. And I'm never going back! Fuck them. Fuck Thariel. I won't go back. I'm never going back. And if any of Mummy's little friends want to pick up where the others left off, they'll find nothing but a pile of ash.
Easy, Karlach. Those flames are getting big.
Not big enough. Now get out before you get hurt. Now! Whew. Had to let off a little steam after facing off with those ignots. Granted, the fire's lasting a little longer than it should. How do I look?
Like you should have melted a long time ago. How can you stand it?
Honey, I could go all night.
Huh.
Hear that? Infernal engine for a heart. Lets me burn as hot as the hells. Seems to be running in overdrive since I left Avernus. Won't be seeing my mechanic anytime soon, so I'll just make the most of the extra heat. Just don't get too close, till I've found a way to calm it down.
How in the hells did you get an infernal engine for a heart?
High pain tolerance, and a dynamic duo of truly shitty bosses. But it's a bit early in the game to be getting into tragic backstories. Let's save the Scar show for later, after we've worked up an appetite for tragedy. Meanwhile, I'll need to find someone who can tune up my engines sooner rather than later. Believe me when I say this thing is hot. The first time I faced down those paladins, they let slip there was an infernal mechanic in the area. A tiefling. He might be able to stabilize things, if I can find him.
I wonder if they meant Damon, a tiefling weaponsmith.
A weaponsmith, huh? Not sure if he's the guy, but I'd love to find out. A tune-up would do this rusty heart a world of good.
Hellsfire. She's coming.
Will, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
Gods damn it. Anyone but her.
God's damn devil! Get out of my camp!
Now? But I'm just getting comfy. Call me Mizora. I'm Will's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Will. But Karlach's still breathing.
I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora. And at least those can be buried after.
That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlach, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark.
Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless.
Karlach meets the criteria by virtue of having no heart.
You better not lay a damned finger on Karlach.
Don't you worry. That ship has long sailed the Styx. But a defiant pup must still pay his price. To wit.
Will burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms.
Get used to the new form, pet.
There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo.
Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade.
Karlach, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you. Oh, and Will, don't forget, our pact still stands. Ta-ta.
Gods damn her, straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mizora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings.
Warlock pacts tend to be unforgiving from what you know of them. Will was lucky he didn't face a more severe punishment.
What did you expect? She's a devil. Hardly the paragon of honesty.
All these years. You'd think it's a lesson I'd have well learned. It's Mizora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds. But I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast.
How in the hells did you get involved with Mizora?
The one little question that put me out of house and home. I can't utter the terms or circumstances of the pact. I can tell you most all else, but the pact, I'm forbidden, unless Mizora permits it. But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself to Mizora, I have not regretted for a heartbeat. It was my proudest deed. It was worth the sacrifice. All I can give you on that is my solemn word. A possibility that's kept me awake countless nights. But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to.
There must be some loophole in the contract that lets you out.
There could well be. She has the blighted thing. What I know of it is simply what has engraved itself upon my memory. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mizora no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact willingly. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads.
We can beat her. If we put our worms together.
We can. I'm sure of it. How glad I am that you see me as more than my patron's pet.
So, I have to ask, how does it feel to be a devil?
It's said that anyone who bathes in the river of blood emerges as one born anew. It's a lot like that, I imagine. I feel the weight of these horns on my head, curling upwards like a mammoth's tusks. I feel these ridges snaking down my neck, not to mention a few bumps and prongs in unmentionable places. But I haven't seen my reflection just yet. Be my mirror. What do you see?
I see the Blade of Frontiers. No more, no less.
It's because you know the heart lurking under the horns. The people will see a curiosity, maybe even a beast hungry for their souls. But I will slay their monsters, keep them safe, and one day they will see the Blade of Frontiers again.
Tiring business, isn't it? All this traveling and adventuring. Why don't we take a little break, Allow ourselves a few moments of rest? Gives me a chance to talk to you about something, well, rather important.
Rather important, no less. All right, go ahead.
We've been on the road together for a while now, haven't we? Survived some perils, overcame some obstacles. Ever since you were kind enough to free me from that stone, I've seen you demonstrate remarkable guile and courage. The way you diffused the tension between Zevlor and Aradin. The way you stood in front of a crossbow to prevent a murder. The way you got Korga to release the girl. The way you got that boy out of a harpy's clutches. In short, I've grown to trust you.
That's very gratifying to hear.
The reason I make a point of saying this is that I've grown confident enough to tell you something I've yet to tell another living soul, except for my cat. You see, I have this condition. Very different from the parasite we share, but just as deadly.
What kind of condition?
The specifics are rather personal, but suffice it to say that it is a malady I've learned to live with, though not without some effort. What it comes down to is this. Every so often, I need to get my hands on a powerful magical item and absorb the weave inside.
Your illness causes you to consume raw magic? I'm gonna need the details.
I can say no more on the matter. Not now, anyway. Just trust me when I say it's all of vital importance. It's been days since I last consumed an artifact, since before we were abducted. It's only a matter of time before my craving returns. That is why I turn to you. I need you to help me find magic items to consume. It is vital. Dare I say it? Critical.
Where do you suggest we find artifacts you need?
We've already done the finding. In fact, you have one in your possession. You know for yourself how hard won such an item was, and it will be no easier when even more are required to assuage my hunger. There'll be danger involved, or great cost.
I expected as much. Don't worry. I'm happy to help.
Splendid. Bit of boldness will serve us well. I'm sure we won't have to look very far to find what I need. Faerun overflows with magic-infused treasure. As do our packs, as a matter of fact. We've such an item already in our possession. Primed for the moment the need arises. I hope I can count on you.
I was just wondering, that condition of yours, why does it require magic?
Think of it as tribute. The kind a king might pay to a more powerful neighbor to avoid invasion. As long as I pay, there will be peace. But should I ever stop, along comes a war. I can assure you, the battlefield would extend well beyond the borders of my body alone.
Be wary of false promises. The missing druid, Halsin, was it? He may be talented, but only a Githyanki Zathis can cleanse an embedded tadpole.
Are you sure Kresh is our only path to a cure?
Entirely. I was as devoted to my studies as I was to my training. Each Kresh contains a Zathis purification device. So I learned from the writings in the Kalir library. The library was a gift from Vlaakith herself, that we may gain total understanding.
That kind of wisdom is very valuable.
Countless scholars roam the astral sea and beyond, observing the ways of our lessers, exploring planes so distant order turns to chaos and cold fires rage. The planes are ever quaking, and their peoples ever shifting. The Githyanki possess an eternity of knowledge. Yet we still collect more. Infinities upon infinities.
Outstanding.
So, Will did the right thing, and it earned him a set of horns. Let that be a lesson to us all.
Lady of Sorrows, guide us. Did you want something?
Why were you in pain before?
The wound on my hand. It never quite heals. And sometimes it causes terrible pain to rip through me. It's my burden, though, from Lady Shah. I can feel her influence somehow.
Why would Shah subject you to such a thing?
I cannot say. Not with what I can recall. But even then, it would not be for me to question her will. Lady Shah has her reasons.
Is there anything I can do to help with it?
I don't think so, but you're sweet to ask. Maybe just be patient the next time you see me wince or cry out. It'll pass quickly enough. It always does. Pain is sacred to followers of Lady Shah. Pain will give way to loss and then to the peace of her eternal darkness. You can tolerate a great deal of suffering so long as it has meaning.
What causes it to hurt you?
It's difficult to say. Sometimes I wonder if it's supposed to be guiding me, punishing me, testing me. But perhaps it's none of those. Perhaps it's completely random. I'd like to hope there's more to it than that. Some meaning that Lady Shah will reveal to me when the time is right. Until then, all I can do is endure.
I see. Shadowheart, I want to talk to you about your Shah worship.
I'm sure you do. But please try to understand that it's not something I can just talk about freely.
You should trust me. We're in the same boat, after all.
Very well. Perhaps there's potential in you. Let's see how you handle this. I am indeed a disciple of Shah. Mistress of the Night and Lady of Loss. I assume you've heard of her?
Remind me.
My Lady Shah is the Night Singer, the patron of darkness and loss.
Fascinating. Please, continue.
Most fear the dark, like children, because in darkness they see their fears reflected. But Shah teaches us to step beyond fear, beyond loss, In darkness, we do not hide. We act. Pain, hope, the promise of better days. All of these are heavy cloaks that bend our backs and burden our hearts. We shed those cloaks. Before Shah, we stand gloriously naked, beyond the vanities of mortals.
How exactly do Shah worshippers turn people to their goddess?
We tear down the lies the world is drunk on. The institutions they trust, the so-called gods they worship, the lives they cling to. We destroy false idols, topple corrupt organizations, fight heretics wherever they're found. There's often suffering, death even. Many people break before they embrace Shah's truths.
I won't cast judgment on your beliefs.
Curious. Most are afraid of my lady. I think I did well by joining you. Most agreeable company.
I'm glad you see it that way. I'd like to get to know you more, Shadowheart.
You already know my biggest secrets. What more can you ask?
Tell me something about yourself. Besides Shah. Besides tadpoles.
What? Besides my life's calling and the greatest problem I've ever faced? Well, I like night orchids and can't swim. Is that the sort of thing you meant?
You'll have to point out night orchids to me if we ever pass some.
It's a deal.
Is there anything else you'd care to share?
No, I can't. I mean, I literally can't. There's certain things I can't remember right now. Shah's secrets must be preserved above all else. All who worship her know this. I have had certain memories suppressed, voluntarily, so that I can serve Shah without compromising her. If I manage to return to Baldur's Gate and fulfill Shah's mission, then my memories will be restored.
You've had your memories suppressed. That seems extreme.
Of course. It is an act of faith, not to be undertaken lightly. Shah will reward me when I succeed.
Can't help but feel you and I might have missed a chance to connect. Truly connect.
I think I know what you mean. There's an undeniable rapport, and yet we haven't made time for each other. Time alone. Easily remedied, if you like. I know a place.
I'd like that. Just lead the way.
Not just yet. Let's choose our moment. Some quiet night, when the others are asleep and there's no distractions, I'll come for you.
Until then.
I'll be honest, soldier. I'm reeling. Will hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his. Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that.
He's a good man. Maybe the best of us.
You can say that again. When he was chasing me through Avernus, I thought he was just another sad merc. How wrong I was.
Now then, how did you end up with such a contraption in your chest?
The year, 10 air. The place, sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. Our hero, Karlach, a knock-kneed delinquent from the outer city, with everything to give and nothing to lose. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Worked for a guy I respected. A lot. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zariel behind my back. You know Zariel, right? Archdevil of Avernus. She put this thing in my chest and set me to work. Well, to war. I learned quick how to stay alive. And the engine served me when it came to killing devils. 10 years of that. The stories I could tell.
Go on then. Tell them.
I'll mete out the best ones bit by bit, so you always have a reason to keep me around. Clever, right?
You mentioned a boss who gave you up to Zariel. Who was it?
Guy named Gortash. Politician. Inventor. One of these wheeler-dealer types who seems to have a finger in every pie. I guess I was naive to think everything he got up to was above board. What did I know? I saw a job, a good job, with people I liked, doing work I was good at. Sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Ugh, to feel so invincible again. Gives me energy. Power. But you've seen it in action. Very hard to control. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, enticed, I burn hot. Hot enough to burn anyone who gets close.
You must be pent up.
I try not to think about it. I still think about it constantly, but, you know, I try. One of these days, I'll sort the whole infernal affair out, get myself cooled off, start making up for lost time. But not today.
Now that those paladins are out of your way, what's next on your agenda?
First things first, I need to get this engine tuned up. Thing's powerful, but it's been feeling volatile ever since I left the Hells. Can't be too hard to find an infernal mechanic around here, right?
You know, this isn't where I thought I'd end up. How about you?
Funny you should ask. I was just thinking about what would have become of us without that Nautiloid. I mean, I know where I'd be. Trapped in Avernus still, with the Blade of Frontiers on my tail. But what about you?
So much has happened. I can barely remember what life was like before the abduction.
Lucky you. Sometimes I think I'd be better off indulging in a bit of light oblivion. Well, we may as well make some good memories mixed in with the body horror, huh?
I couldn't help but notice, but you and Mizora seem to know each other. How?
We were both part of Zariel's inner circle. Her by choice, me by force. In the grand scheme of things, I'm inconsequential to Zariel. Sure, I've got the engine, but I wasn't even her strongest fighter. But she favored me like a child favors a captive pet. Mizora envied the attention, I suppose. I'm sure when Zariel gave her the order to hunt me down, Mizora was delighted.
Do you think she'll keep coming after you?
I don't know. You'd think she'd have more important things to do. Devils and their pride.
I can see why you were so keen to escape.
No kidding. The fighting, the chaos, the betrayal. It had the makings of a good stage show, but I did not want to be one of the players.
Thank you for your time tonight, Karlach.
It seems to be the perfect night to spend a little time together. Just you and I. Assuming you haven't changed your mind, of course.
Lead the way.
You made it. Come here. Sit with me.
I wouldn't dream of missing it.
So eager. I'm surprised it took you this long. Well, to begin, I think a toast is in order. Any suggestions?
To survival.
Very practical. We could have toasted to that every night so far. Here's to many more. Survival. Now tell me something about yourself. And no tadpoles, dragons, marauding goblins, or anything like that. Something about you.
Something about me. I'm surprised you cared.
Fishing for blackmail material, that's all. Go on. I insist.
Perhaps I can share a memory of Baldur's Gate.
Seems like you truly know the city. I never got to explore it to my liking. Don't stop now. Not just as things are getting interesting.
I'm not sure what else to say.
Sounds Sounds like you just need a little more liquid inspiration. There's still plenty of wine, and the whole night is ahead of us. Nearly light. The others will be awake soon.
The others can wait. I don't want this to end just yet.
Another moment won't kill them, I suppose. Well, it might, but let's take that risk. Thank you for last night.
I do hope there'll be more to come.
Me too.
She trails off. You read an invitation in her eyes.
You know, if you want something, I think you should take it.
That didn't hurt, did it?
No. Far from it.
Good to know. For the future. Let's head back. If we must. All's well, I hope.
Of course. Unless something's the matter.
No. I just wanted to see how you felt after the night we spent together. When we talked and kissed.
You first.
I can't recall the last time I shared so much with someone. Maybe I never did before. It meant a lot to me. You mean a lot to me. And that was before the kiss.
That night meant a lot to me too. And I hope there's more to come.
I hope so too. Though I'm not sure what kind of courtship will be afforded, given all that we're facing. But if you want to see where this goes, I do as well.
You and I, we share something special, I think. I want to talk about it.
Very serious of you. But go ahead.
How are you faring?
Always good when I'm with you.
Thank you, Shadowheart.
Hope you're keeping well, friend.
I'm sorry about what happened to your master.
Master? Friend. I stayed with him until I knew he was gone. I'll never forget him. But I'm glad to have met you.
Come here. Oh, good boy.
There's something I want to talk to you about. Something important.
Well, now I'm intrigued. Do continue.
I could have died in that pod, back on the Nautiloid. You could have died, spending precious moments trying to free me, but you did it anyway. I owe you my life. I'm trying to say that you've earned my trust in a way very few ever have. I want that to mean something. I want you to know more about me, at least from what I can remember. As long as I've prayed to Lady Shah, I've wished to serve her as a Dark Justiciar. There is scarcely a greater way to fully dedicate yourself to Lady Shah, save perhaps if you become the head of her church. To become a Dark Justiciar is to become the Night Singer's sword arm, her implement with which she will cast down the unbelievers and win the final battle to restore her perfect, endless darkness. It's all I ever wanted. I prayed it was my calling. But Mother forbid me from seeking to prove myself worthy of the rank. She said I was not ready. Not my mother, I should add.
the Mother Superior, head of Lady Shah's enclave in Baldur's Gate. Sometimes I wonder if she would ever deem me ready. I owe her everything, and I only wish to serve, yet she can prove inscrutable.
Do you think she'll ever relent? And make you a Dark Justicia?
I don't know. Perhaps if I succeed in my mission and reach Baldur's Gate. Hope has little place amongst Lady Shah's children. It's an illusion, a distraction. But for this, I hope my time will yet come.
I don't understand. Why be so secret about such an ambition?
Dark Justiciars are hated by many, judged to be ruthless fanatics. Even the few who would accept a follower of Lady Shah would likely balk at a Justiciar in their midst. But there's a simpler answer to your question. I simply forgot about the desire I had until I saw some things that reminded me. Now, I can't get it out of my mind.
I thank you for sharing that with me, Shadowheart. Let's be off.
Oh, villain.
Get over there! Surround him like!
I know you're there! Show yourselves!
You spotted us! Good! It's like they say, no fun in skewing a pig what doesn't know he's cooked.
There'll be no skewering happening here. Let me pass.
We got you surrounded. Here's how this goes. You take one step further, and we'll fill your front with arrows. Or you turn around, and your backside gets the same treatment.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
Come now. Just let me by and we'll pretend this never happened.
Ugh. Suppose it's best to save our strength for a real threat. Go on then. Just keep your nose clean.
Look what we got here. Another little birdie wanting to fly. Stop this thing! Flap those wings some more, and I'll feed you a worm. And you. Hope you got a stomach for heights.
What in the hells are you doing?
What's it bloody look like? We're teaching this here pipsqueak to fly.
Let me rephrase that. Why are you doing this?
'Cause it makes me laugh.
Fun's over. Release the gnome at once.
You want this little cave lurking what's it? Find your own. He's ours!
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
I consider this gnome under my protection. You don't want to fight me for him.
The goblin's nostrils flare, as if trying to judge you through smell alone.
We're leaving.
What about the gnome? Ain't we supposed to bring him to...
I said we're leaving! There's plenty of sport and rich pickings out there for us. Move it!
Shadowheart's attention is fixed on a damaged old statue.
We should keep moving.
What just happened?
I don't know exactly. Lady Shah, protect me.
You must know something. This has happened before, yes?
It felt oddly familiar, but I don't know why. I saw something that reminded me of my faith. My mission. I felt something rise within me, like my blood was on fire. Then it passed. That's all I know. It's stopped now, whatever it is. Let's just carry on.
Cut me loose!
Right away.
Ugh. Maga Kamara. Those pustulant thugs! Well, get on with it.
Get on with what?
You saved me, now you'll extort me. That's how this works, yes?
You owe me nothing.
Nothing?
I'd rather just know how you got caught.
My own fault, really. I should have dropped my pack and outrun those bastards. Alas. Take my pack, if you can find it. The only reason those goblins caught me was its weight. I'll travel lightly from now on.
You're a little far from home for a deep gnome, are you not?
Ignorance is alive and well, it seems. Deep gnomes aren't restricted to the Underdark, you know. I've lived in Baldur's Gate for years. I'm in search of a friend. I fear he's in trouble. See this? I gave it to him years ago before I left home. I found it around the neck of a thug in the lower city. It was speckled with blood. My friend, nowhere to be found. But I still have hope. I have reason to believe he's in the Underdark. Hopefully, I'll pick up his trail from there. I always help my friends. On that note, I bid thee farewell. If we should meet again, well, we will have met again.
Tastes like chicken. No chicken. Tastes like fish. Gentlemen, contain yourselves. This quarrel sours our feast. Besides, tastes like pork. And what surprise is this? Brothers, look here. I have eyed yet another prize. Fortune favors our bellies. Stranger, be you friend or food. The mark is her measure. Show us the brand of the Absolute.
Try to eat me, and I'll brand you with the mark of my oath.
Food? No, not food. Too tough for your digestion, I fear. Perhaps friend, then. Friend.
You know, you are quite the articulate ogre.
Am I not astonishing? A robust diet makes for a shrewd mind, you see. I am a gourmand. And you, a delicacy. Unless you bear the mark, of course.
I notice you don't bear a brand of your own.
I've no use for the Absolute, or any god. I follow two masters only. Gluttony and greed. The goblins understand my appetites. They sate my hunger for gold. And the rest sate my hunger for meat. Boss goblin give gold. We check brand. Good deal. No talk.
I've seen few other ogres in these parts.
We follow the sense of blood and gold to all lands fertile, friend. And this land proves particularly fruitful.
You know, forget the goblins. You should be fighting for me.
I am, by all accounts, a student of higher commerce and extortion. Make me an offer. Tempt me.
Tempt me, he says. Fight for me in my oath, or I'll cut the last meal from your belly.
Come now. Famished though we are friends, are we not? Take my bone horn. One blow and the ground will quake with my family name. Use it when the need arises, and never a moment before. Ogre kill everyone around, then Ogre eats them. Well spoken, indeed. Ogre kill everyone around.
Very well. Be gone with you now.
We will keep close. When you are ready, sound the horn.
As you approach, a guttural scream and a succession of quick bangs rattle the door. Then, a low moan. Someone, or something, is having a bit of fun.
Hello? Is anyone in there?
Go away!
What?
Leave it. Whoever's inside doesn't want an audience, and I don't want to fight.
It sounds like someone's being hurt.
What the hell are you doing?
My apologies. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Ruined. Smash! Oh, smash you!
Apart from an overgrowth of moss, the well looks unremarkable.
Wonder what's inside.
Dry stones line the wall. At the bottom, something gleams in the dappled light.
Perhaps a coin.
The coin disappears into the darkness, landing with a soft clink.
There must be something down there.
You don't sleep well, flitting between dreams and nightmares. Maybe you wake up because you know something is wrong, or maybe you just get lucky.
What?
Shit. No, it's not what it looks like. I swear. I wasn't going to hurt you. I just needed, well, blood.
There, in the dim firelight, you see him for what he really is. A vampire, a slave to sanguine hunger.
I can't believe I didn't see it. We even found the boar you snacked on.
It's not what you think. I'm not some monster. I feed on animals. Boars, deer, kobolds, whatever I can get. I'm just too slow right now. Too weak. If I just had a little blood, I could think clearer, fight better. Please.
A strange sensation courses through you, and your companion's mind unfolds, secrets half revealed.
Why didn't you tell me?
At best, I was sure you'd say no. More likely, you'd ram a stake through my ribs. No. I needed you to trust me. And you can trust me.
You just tried to bite me. How can I trust you?
Because we don't have a choice. Not if we're going to save ourselves from these worms. I need you alive. You need me strong. Please, only be a taste, I swear. I'll be well, you'll be fine. And everything can go back to normal.
All right. But go too far and I'll drive a stake through your chest.
Ah, of course. I shall be gentle as a babe. Let's make ourselves comfortable, shall we?
It's like a shard of ice into your neck. A quick, sharp pain that fades to throbbing numbness. Your breath catches, your pulse quickens.
All right. That's enough.
Oh, of course. That was amazing. My mind is finally clear. I feel strong. I feel happy.
Yes, well, I'm looking forward to seeing you fight now.
Shouldn't take long. So many people need killing. Now, if you'll excuse me, you're invigorating, but I need something more filling. This is a gift, you know. I won't forget it.
You watch as he stalks off, stronger, more confident, ready to hunt.
Good morning. How do you feel?
I'm fine. Just a little woozy.
It'll pass. Just be glad I'm not a true vampire. A bite from them and you might wake up as a vampire spawn. Like my good self. All of a vampire's hunger, but few of their powers.
Is that how you can stand in the sun? Because you're not a true vampire?
Oh no. I should be cinders in this light. I hadn't seen the sun for 200 years before we crashed here. Someone, or something, wants me alive. They've changed the rules. Standing in the sun, wading through a river, wandering into homes without an invitation. They're all perfectly mundane activities now. As for my other quirks, well, we can figure those out in time.
What's causing this? The Mind Flayer's parasite?
That's my theory, but who knows? I'm just glad you're being sensible about these revelations. I was worried people might turn up with torches and pitchforks. Although there's still time.
A vampire? Well, that explains the pallor. Given our group's nature, I don't see much harm. We're each monsters in the making, after all.
Fine. As long as he keeps his fangs off our necks.
Enough. We need him, like it or not.
He's not wrong. We're bound together, no matter what comes.
Maybe we could get him to wear a bell. Dissuade any nighttime prowling.
There now. We're all friends again. Shall we go? There's a long day ahead of us.
You'll have to speak slowly. I'm finding it quite difficult to concentrate with my condition gnawing at my insides like a teething displacer kitten.
What do you make of having a vampire in our camp?
We all have our burdens, one way or the other.
Yes?
Would you mind telling me about your history?
Why do you insist on exhuming the past? I was a slave. A vampire spawn. Kept by the Tsar family. Perhaps I still am. I was never able to resist their commands. But now, I've been conveniently lost. They won't ever control me again.
Well, how does someone become a vampire? Exactly.
It's simple. Just find a vampire that will drink your blood and turn you into a vampire spawn. Their obedient puppet. In theory, the next step is to drink their blood. Once you've done that, you're free. And a true vampire.
In theory?
People think the biggest threat to a vampire is a cleric with a stake. It's not. The biggest threat to a vampire is another vampire. They're scheming, paranoid, power-hungry beasts. So why would any vampire give up control over a spawn to create a competitor? Trust me, it doesn't happen.
Yes, well. So, about you biting me.
I've already apologized. What more do you want? Unless you're looking for another nibble.
I need to know how we'll feed you in the future.
No innocence. You have my word. Only villains that we need to kill anyway. After all, you know what I am now. I can fight with all my weapons. Teeth included. And if I happen to drain the occasional bandit during a fight, what's the harm? They're just as dead.
All right. But I'll be watching.
Excellent. Now, shall we go? I'm already feeling a little peckish.
Let's go.
Huh. So, that's what people mean when they talk about butterflies in their stomach. Did you want something?
If you have the time, do you mind telling me more about the Mother Superior?
I'm not sure what else I can say, at least until I can remember more. She taught me, trained me, punished me. Often, I think I feel her influence when the wound pains me. Not even memories, just glimpses, impressions. Perhaps the wound is her doing, something Lady Shah bid her to do. I don't know.
I'm sorry. We'll talk later.
There's something I've been wanting to share with you, if now's a good time.
You're voluntarily telling me about yourself. Are you feeling unwell? Is it the tadpole?
No. The opposite. I feel like I can share this with you. I've never felt that way before. It's difficult to put into words. I think it might be easier to just show you. Use the tadpole. The connection. Come into my mind.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I trust you.
Very well.
I don't remember how it started. Only how it ended. I was fleeing. She asked my name. I can't remember what I said. Can't remember anything before those words.
All I know is she saved my life and gave me a new home. With Lady Shah. It hurts. That's all I remember.
Something sparks in your memory about Selûnite rites of passage. You heard once about how they would send their children out into the wilds to navigate their way home.
You looked like you were wearing a moonstone. Isn't that commonly worn by Selûnites?
You're reading too much into things. A childhood bauble, that's all. Just because Selûnites claim something doesn't mean they own it.
Well, no wonder you're so dedicated to Shah. You feel like you owe your life to her.
Lady Shah. But yes, her and those who saved me and taught me her ways. The Mother Superior. She made me who I am. At least as best as I can remember. She taught me, trained me, punished me when I failed her. Which was often.
You must have been important to her.
Perhaps I was. She sent me on this mission after all.
Well, thank you, Shadowheart. We should talk later.
Oh, shit-pilling toe-rag! Never summon shovel, never feed shovel, now call shovel!
You recognize the tiny fiend, a quasit. Wicked creatures, often used as familiars.
Wait, you're not Illy?
Illy?
My master. Tall, skinny, prick with ears. So, you're Shovel's master now. Fine.
You're a disgusting little creature, aren't you?
And you, slab of beef with nipples. Moo!
Your name is Shovel.
Master Illy calls me Shovel. Don't like it? Change it! So, what first, Master? Gutting locals? Raising the dead? Making them walk? Making them scream?
No, and you'll not commit such deeds in my name either.
Oh, you don't like gutting? Spilling? Tearing? Boring? Wait, are you horny? For the book? Illy never shuts up. Book this, book that. Blah.
What book?
Oh, Master should go see. Talk to the mirror, and remember, balsam, good for burns. Oh? A spell shite! When the fisting starts, use the sparky magic to call Shovel. Let's kill everything.
Speak your name.
I'm, Aura Silverleaf.
I do not know this name. If you are known to my master, step forward and declare yourself an ally.
Yes, an ally. I'm an ally of your master's.
Only a true ally of Ilintoth may pass. What think you of the Zolkir known as Zastan?
Saztam is a foul, wretched creature.
You are no Zolkir, but are you wise? Tell me, why might one use balsam ointment?
I read a doctor's journal. Use balsam to clean a wound.
Acceptable. Finally. If you could see anything in me, what would it be?
I'd look for whatever spell will rid me of this worm in my head.
You seek to survive. You seek power. Be welcome.
The book is locked tight with no visible keyhole, only an oval recess in the cover's mouth. You try to examine the book, but the longer you stare, the more those piercing amethyst eyes draw you in. You can sense something dark about this tome. Something profane.
A cursed book. How obvious. Whoever opens it deserves the fate that befalls them.
Curious. Why don't you take a closer look? I'll observe from back here.
We surely shouldn't leave such a threat out, where anyone could stumble across it.
I'm with Will. We'll take it with us for now.
Lads, for the love of all that is holy, I've never clapped eyes on your poor sister.
Drop the act, hag. You was the last to see Mayrina.
Just let her go. Please.
Thank goodness you're here, sweetie. I don't know what's come over these boys.
Stop this! We won't ask again.
How about we all just calm down? What's going on here?
Careful! Don't trust a word out of her mouth. Our sister went to the hag, and we ain't seen her since.
Hand over heart, I don't know their sister. I will gladly help you all look for her, though.
Enough. Where is she?
Ethel, what did you do to their sister?
Bollocks! You were supposed to rush to my defense, love. Fat lot of good you are. Some advice? You ever darken my door, you'd best have that head bowed and an apology at the ready. Bye-bye now.
Bloody hells. She just disappeared. I ain't seen nothing like that before.
She could shoot fireworks out of her backside for all I care. The hag has Rena.
Will someone please tell me what's going on?
It's our sister, Mayrina. Well, she was in a bad way after her husband died.
Started saying weird things, like how she was gonna bring him back.
Next thing, she's gone looking for the hag. Of all the stupid things to do. And we haven't seen her since. And no good ever came from dealing with a hag.
None of this matters, all right? We need to get her back, and fast.
Let me. I'll bring Mayrina home.
Are you joking? I ain't got a clue who you are. No way I'm leaving Rena to you.
But, Joel...
Not a chance. We're getting her back on our own. Now, come on.
A chill runs up your spine. You feel like you're being watched.
Something is not right here. It feels strange.
You blink and the wilderness changes. The swamp, stinking and insidious, assaults your senses. A diminutive creature sporting a red hat glares at you. That noise. Is the creature pretending to be a sheep?
Bah!
Ah, a fellow wanderer. Forgive the aroma.
You catch a waft of something foul, metallic, and sickly sweet.
Powdered iron vine. Most monsters will think twice before making a meal of me. An old hunter's trick. If you can't mask your scent, spoil it.
I prefer a weapon to a stench. Thanks.
Sharp steel is not proof against all the monsters of this world, my friend. A sharp wit will serve you better if you're to bargain with the lady of this house. That is why you came to her lair, I take it. To bargain.
The lady of this house?
A more innocent name than some I could call her. But it is what she is that ought to concern you. Her kind have hidden among us since the first darkness. And their knowledge is matched only by their spite. Know how to ask, and they'll share that knowledge. If you're fool enough to pay their price.
Speak plainly. What is she?
A powerful friend, a terrible foe. That, I cannot decide for you. For my part, I need her knowledge. The thing I hunt has gone to ground. If she can tell me how to flush him out, I'll pay whatever price she asks.
I'd advise against helping such a creature thrive. What quarry could be worth that price?
Truth is like a blade, my friend. We can arm ourselves with it, or just as easily find it pressed against our throat. I would not put you in danger.
Perhaps I could help with your hunt.
No. This duty is mine alone. But for such an offer, an answer at least is owed. I hunt a vampire spawn called Astarion. I'm bound to bring him back to Baldur's Gate, alive. Though I cannot swear to his condition once my tribe are done with him. Is he known to you?
What does your tribe want with a creature like that?
My people were recently attacked in the night. Our camp set upon by a band of vampire spawn. In the chaos of battle, one of them stole away with our children. We've been searching for them ever since. We believe this Astarion knows exactly what happened that night and where to find our little ones. If captured, my people will make him talk. So I ask again, is he known to you?
You can give up your hunt. Astarion's under my protection.
I see. Your loyalty is admirable, but misplaced. His kind have charm beyond our mortal means to resist. I can show you who he truly is, if you will just tell me where to find him.
Said it before and I'll say it again. I'm not going to help you find him. Back off.
Astarion has quite the friend in you. I'll make sure he knows that. At the end.
I don't want a crumb left on that plate, Gale.
Auntie Ethel, please. One more bite and this pie is gonna come back up to say hello.
Don't make me get the wooden spoon. You're eating for two, so get to it. If it isn't the cheekiest pup of them all, you'd best have one hells of an apology for me, young man.
You'll get no apology from me, hag.
I do like the mouthy ones. You know, I was gonna give you a swift kick up the arse and show you the door. But I think you and I could have a bit of fun together. Gods grant me patience. Eat up, Mayrina. I won't say it again.
That's Mayrina. I have some bad news for her.
Keep that hole under your nose shut, or things will get messy.
Spill it. Mayrina deserves the truth.
What is it? What's going on?
Mayrina. Auntie Ethel, she killed your brothers.
That can't be true. Auntie Ethel.
They were being rude, and I detest rudeness.
You monster! The deal is off!
Enough, away with you. Blessed silence at last. Some time in the cage should do her good. And you'll regret sticking your nose in my business.